Hi. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, just Miss Marianne.
Oh, you two have lunch together?
Yeah, nothing special. Listen, I'm glad to see you, I think.
What is that supposed to mean?
I was hoping you might tell me about a particular job.
And if I don't, you want me to turn around and leave?
Oh, come on, come on. You know it's more in a relationship than just whether or not you give me another business.
Sometimes I wonder. You know, you and I were never this close until this whole subject came up.
I never knew you felt so bad about it.
It's to be expected, I guess. A young man doesn't get to know his father fully until he's grown up and has confronted some of the same problems that his father's had to face.
In other words, I got the job.
No, you haven't got a job. I'm simply pointing out that you've stopped blaming me for your lousy upbringing. I just hope that this change of heart reflects something more than the fact that you're just asking me to do you a favor.
I suppose it does.
Truth is, you know, if you did come to work for me, you'd see why your mother and I could never get married.
Fine, then. Get me a job and vindicate yourself. That's probably why you've been hanging on to this idea for so long anyway.
No, on the contrary, I'm more than willing to bury it as you keep digging it up.
I don't believe that. You keep telling me how cutthroat this business is and everybody looking out for themselves. Now, how am I supposed to sit here and believe that you're getting a job for me just for my sake?
Well, what do you think I've got to gain from it?
Immortality, for starters.
Oh, really?
I'm serious. Hey, every father likes to live through his son, and it's just the way it's always been.
Well, if you think I want to live through you, don't you think my first order of business should be to see that you keep on living?
Oh, don't give me that.
I'm not going to burden you with the number of men I've seen killed. And those who have a better shot at the top are the ones that run twice the risk.
You made it.
Yes, after a lifetime of separation and isolation. There's been over 4 attempts on my life so far.
Don't cry to me about that. That's just the dues that you've paid, and I'm ready to sacrifice just as much, Vince.
And I say you're not.
You know, when I played football in high school, I gave up just about everything. Busted my tail to get a full scholarship to Kingsley, and I carried a 3.7 all the way through. Now, I know you don't think that that's much, just kid stuff, but to me, it was sweat and sacrifice.
Small sacrifice for immediate gain.
Immediate. I was planning for Kingsley ever since the 9th grade.
And you had the prettiest girls and the campus headlines every step of the way. Hey, don't con me about your personal sacrifices. I know the way a young man thinks.
Yeah, well, what about Becky? I was ready to give up med school for her and Lori, just to make her happy.
Med school rejected you. Laurie broke off your engagement. You're still living in the house that I paid for.
I'm talking about what I was prepared to do. But Becky didn't leave me much choice, now did she?
Exactly. You've never done anything until you had your back up against the wall.
Fine. Fine. That's where I am now, Vince. All right, I surrender, okay? I surrender. You're not getting me a job to vindicate yourself, and you don't care about the Cardello legacy. You're acting out of nothing but total and complete pity for your helpless son. I still need a job. Is that what you want? You want me broken? Well, I've been broken for the last 2 months, or haven't you been father enough to notice?
I noticed that you were broken when Becky left you, but I know you have been through the fire, son, but I'm just not going to let you get away with blaming bad decisions and worse luck and confusing it with personal sacrifice. Now, I've talked to Ron Washington.
Yeah, who's Ron Washington?
He's an associate of mine. He overlooks some of my operations.
And you mentioned my name?
Twice. Point is that he's aware that I've been working on a decision.
Yeah, so what did he say?
What he said is less than important. He's aware that I've been working on a decision and now I've made it.
You'll get me a job?
Yes.
What were you gonna say?
Just that you only do what Lance tells you. He's, has so much authority.
Well, but everybody has a boss, even the prince.
Well, who is the prince?
No, I didn't say that. No.
All right, all right. Just forget I said that, right? But you know what? You're right. You said everybody has a boss, and that is very true because we all have to answer to God. And I'm sure you know how very important He is, right?
I know he's bigger than Lance.
That's right. He really is. And you know what that means, Blue? That means that if God would ask you to do something, and Lance didn't want you to do it, then you would have to ignore Lance.
Oh, I don't know.
Wait a minute, Blue. That doesn't make sense. You just said that God is bigger than Lance.
Yeah, but Lance is a whole lot closer. Why are you always talking about God?
Because I'm always thinking about him.
Oh.
Well, I am. I'm thinking about why he let this happen to me and how he's going to get me out of here. And by the way, do you know anything about the ransom? Have you heard anything at all?
No, Lance, it's none of my business. Were you ever married?
Why do you ask that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was once. You remember, I've told you that I have a little boy.
Who is your husband? What did he do?
Well, he was a professor, an English professor at college.
Oh, he was smart.
Yeah.
Oh. Was he handsome?
Mm-hmm. I thought so, and so did a lot of other women.
Oh. Was he smart, handsome, and rich?
No, he wasn't really rich.
I got money. So, what happened?
Blue, you know, you're prying into my personal life, and I realize you want someone to talk to, and that, yeah, I think you're very nice sometimes, but you have to understand that a woman's past, it's a very guarded and a very secret possession, and it happens to be about the only possession I have.
Sure, I understand. I won't get personal. So, did you make love a lot?
Blue, no, we didn't actually. It wasn't a very good marriage, which was mostly my fault, and that's why he left and he went overseas.
He's, overseas?
Yeah. He's in England. I'll probably never even see him again.
Well, Marianne, I made some comments on these sketches here.
Yeah, you better rave about every one of those designs, Gil. I have had my fill of criticism for one day.
Well, what's the matter with you? Well, Loverboy wasn't so lovable today.
Gil, I just came from Russ's, hoping that you would make some wisecrack about him so that I could blow up at someone.
Why don't you go down to one of our construction sites and scream? No one to hear you there.
Well, no one hears me anyway.
Oh, from anger to self-pity.
No, I heard that.
Listen, you know, if you want to explode, then do it.
It won't do any good.
It'll do a lot of good. That's what's wrong with you, Marianne. You think you're a girl who doesn't have any boiling point? No, that's, you keep everything inside you.
Oh, that's crazy. I always tell you how I feel.
Yeah, you tell me. Do you ever show it?
Look, Russ and I had a discussion, and we don't see eye to eye in a couple of things. But it can and it will work out.
Was that for my benefit or yours?
Probably mine. The subject's closed.
Fine. About these sketches. They're good, but I think the lobby's just a little bit casual, okay?
All right, I'll look it over.
Thank you.
Well, what about the permit?
Oh, Vicky's still dragging her feet on those. I think I'm gonna have to pay her a little visit tomorrow morning.
Well, do you think she's doing it on purpose? I mean, to get back at you?
That wouldn't surprise me a bit.
All right? I've decided to let Russ have a little brush with my world so that he finds out that it isn't really made for him. But I've already told you all of that.
Well, that's quite a risk, isn't it?
Not with you to keep an eye on him.
I can't keep an eye on anyone 24 hours a day, Vince.
Stop arguing extremes.
Extremes! You want to make some simple point to your son, and you're risking an entire operation to do that.
Hey, Washington, I'm not going to make him chairman of the board.
I know you're going to start him at the bottom, but he's still going to learn drop points, clientele, distribution.
Russ isn't going to have anything to do with the drug operation.
Well, then what is he gonna do, Vince?
Loans, mostly. He's a big kid. He'll do well there.
He'll do well. Thought you were trying to prove how incapable he'd be around here.
Russ will do whatever you ask him to do, and he'll see only what he has to see along the way.
Oh, come on, Vince. Don't bluff me. I already know that the guy's not cutting it anywhere else.
Oh, you do you?
He's a college boy, isn't he? What does he want with us? Sounds more like he's a well-educated loser.
Look, I've told you all you need to know. Now, you keep your conclusions to yourself.
But I'm right, aren't I? This is more than just an object lesson. He thinks he's being groomed for something bigger, right?
Maybe. You keep this up, and there'll be an opening sooner than expected. And I'm not going to tell you this again. I don't expect any preferential treatment. You tell him what he has to do. If he can't hack it, you cut him out of the way. The other side of that coin is you don't lean on him just because you don't want him around. You do that, and I'll be around just to cut you out of the way.
It's not going to be that easy keeping Russ out of other projects, Vince. We may have our fingers in other pies, but it's all the same hand.
Yeah, how do you figure that?
Well, say we want to collect from one of our users on the streets. He pays up, and then he wants his stuff at the same time.
Obviously, you don't use Russ for that kind of a drop.
All right, then what about this? One of our girls needs some cash for a quick abortion. Does that fall under loans or prostitution?
You're talking about exceptions to the rule again. Most of the people that owe us money are desperate people. They pay us if they can, and if they can't, they run from our boys as fast as possible.
You're wrong, Vince. These aren't loopholes I'm finding. This is reality of my day-to-day work.
You forget, I did this work before you were born.
Oh, come on, Vince. You married into your position. The only time that you ever saw the streets was walking from your father-in-law's limo to his pad.
If that were true, I'd be long gone by now. Man may get authority that way, but he doesn't keep it as long as I have.
Unless, of course, the word was out that crossing Vince Cardella was like crossing the man himself.
The man has been dead over 10 years. I'm still around. Look, I have never objected to your rise from the ranks. You're hardworking, self-educated. One of the reasons why I picked you were to oversee Russ. But I wish you'd get over this fantasy that some men get authority free. I've paid more dues than you'll ever know.
But doesn't it all seem a bit prophetic? You slipping Russ in the same way your father-in-law put you on the board?
Very colorful, Ron. You've gone from shock to anger to jealousy, from white to red to green.
No, I'm not jealous, Vince. I've worked my tail off to get where I am, and I'm proud of every step. It's a bad move. But I'm accepting it because I have no choice.
That's right. You don't. Thank you, Ron. Russ will report to you first thing tomorrow.
All clear? What's wrong, Ronnie?
We've got a big problem on our hands, Ramona.
Lou,
What?
don't you think Lance is going to be wondering where you are?
Nah. I seen him around all day. He didn't have anything to me to do anyway. Do you want me to leave?
Oh, no, I want you to stay. It's just that I'm pretty much all talked out, especially about Pa.
Uh,
What about you? I guess you've never been married, huh?
I tried.
What do you mean? You mean you asked girls to marry you?
One.
Did she say no?
Not really.
Oh, she said yes, huh?
No, she just laughed.
I'm sorry, really.
Oh, no, it's all okay. It's a very funny story. Lance laughs about it all the time. Yeah. Ha 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 ha.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 16. She used to come and visit me once a week at this home. She was from college.
That was very nice of her to
No.
visit you.
It wasn't nice. I was a school project. I've been lots of people's projects.
Well, don't you have parents?
Oh yeah, I had lots of those too.
Oh, well, I mean real parents. Do you know who they are?
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm more sorry about the parents I've had in the homes.
Why, were they pretty unpleasant?
Some were okay. Some were like prisons.
Prisons like this blockhouse? Blue?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I better go now.
No, no, Blue. Blue, don't go because do you know what? I can't go. Do you realize that this place here is worse than any foster home could ever be for me because I have a family to go to. I have my wonderful little son Eric. He wrote me a letter, and my daddy, he's in the hospital with a serious condition. I should be with him.
Ma'am, I don't make the orders around here.
But Blue, you followed him, and that makes it just as much your fault.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't. No,
Blue,
no,
you
it
can
doesn't.
let me out of here. You could because
No, I can't.
Lance is nowhere here. You told me yourself.
No, Lance, kill me. Lance, kill me.
Look, Blue, you could go to the police. You could,
No.
and you could turn Lance in, and they would probably let you free because they'd make an arrangement.
No,
with you.
Mary, no. You stay right here. Yeah. You know, you stay right here. I know what you're doing. I know. Yeah. You're working on me. You're working on me. Just like all my parents. And just like the college girl, you don't care about me. You're not my friend.
How can I be your friend when you keep doing so much to hurt me? Sorry, but only Jesus can love you like that.
Yes. Tell her I can't talk now. I'll take care of it, Janine. Thank you. Now, look, Nancy, before you say anything, I just want you to know that all of this isn't today's work. It's yesterday's. I'm already behind.
You weren't too busy to see Harold Webster, though, were you?
Ah, yes, you talked to him.
This is the cheapest, most selfish, deceptive thing you've ever done to me, Terry.
Goodbye, Nancy.
I am not leaving this office, and you're not kicking me out of my house, either.
Our house.
First Charles abandons me, and then Tab deceives me, and now you're going to try and evict me?
What you have gotten from Mr. Carpenter and Tab is the result of your own selfish ways. Now, I am doing everything for everybody's benefit.
Oh, right. Just throw me overboard and toss me some Bible verses, right? Well, guess what? It's not going to work.
Nancy, you've got a $20,000 debt.
Yeah, to this hospital. And who works here?
I can't cancel a bill like that.
Oh, no, sure you can't. It's too delicious, isn't it? Seeing me homeless is just like the icing on the cake.
Nobody is going to be homeless. Now, when we sell the house to the Redlands, you are going to get half that money. You'll be able to pay off all your debts, and you can move into a nice little apartment.
When I pay off this hospital bill, I won't have enough to move into a shoebox.
That's not true. And if you'd listened to me, you wouldn't have been in this mess.
Why don't you just think about something for a minute? Think about Mother and how she would feel about you disowning your own flesh and blood.
That's very touching, Nancy. You're worried about Mother resting peacefully.
Well, it really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Well, since I was the only daughter who went to her funeral, yes, it certainly does.
Oh, yeah, so you could dance on her grave, right?
That's enough, Nancy. Now, every time, absolutely every time you have found yourself surrounded by problems caused by your greed, you come to me. First pleading, and then accusations. Well, I'm going to tell you the simple truth. I am a little happy to see you facing the consequences of your actions. And if you want a Bible verse for that, I'll give you one. Do not be deceived. God isn't mocked. Whatever a man sows, that also shall he reap.
I refuse to sell that house.
Then this whole thing is going to be settled in court.
Oh, you wouldn't dare.
Don't count on it.
Honey Washington in there?
Who is it?
Police. Rubick. Let him in, Ramona.
Well, come in, Sergeant. Come on over and pull up a seat. Ramona, would you believe it? That's my niece. She's working on her master's.
You know, you're gonna have to be a little more honest with me than that. Otherwise, I'm just here wasting my time, you know what I mean?
What do you want, Brubaker? What crime are you trying to tie me to now?
Well, now, actually, it's not the crime so much as it is the criminal. Does Vince Cardello ring any bells?
Vince Cardello. Who's he?
He's reported to be a very powerful figure in East Coast organized crime.
Why, John, the circles you travel in.
Well, you travel in them too, don't you?
Prove it.
Vince Cardello was here 20 minutes ago.
Oh, yes, that Vince Cardello. The one with the violin case.
Listen, I don't want you to laugh too hard, Washington, because we're closing in on you.
What are you going to charge me with? Felonious lunching? Any business that I have with Cardello is no business of yours.
You know, all these years you've been keeping your act real clean. I just wanted to let you know that Cardello hasn't been as careful or as consistent as you have.
So did you come here to be inspired by my presence?
No, I just wanted to find out what's the connection between you two.
Look, Brubaker, I've been seen all over this country with known felons, some even bigger than Vince. Now, I hate to spoil your fun playing junior detective, but you can't convict a man on his social life. And with that, I think our little visit is over.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Washington, I wasn't expecting any answers. I just want to let you know that we're looking in on you.
Well, that's very comforting to know, John. I can see you now, disguised in the hallway as a potted plant.
Don't you worry where I am. I'll be there. You won't know it, but I'll be there.
Do you realize, Terry, you're showing more compassion to Jean and Carla Redland than to me?
For the last time, Nancy, this is for everybody involved. They need a home, you need the money.
And you need a couple of good laughs watching the squirm, right?
What about the jewelry Mr. Carpenter gave you? Won't that help you at all?
You know, even if I got that whole amount back, it's still not going to be enough.
Well, it's got to help. I mean, with that money and the money from the house, you can pay off all your debts and maybe you can move somewhere and start a whole new life.
Is this a strategy, then? You're trying to run me out of town, eh?
It was just a suggestion. You know you are perfectly welcome to stay at our house.
Oh, right. I mean, you got Ben and Lori staying there.
Well, there's always the couch.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, I'd give up a 2-story villa and sleep on a sofa bed. Well, no thanks. I am not going to give up that house without a fight.
Have a nice weekend, Nancy.
Join us each weekday for more of Another Life.